Hey, hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this Azure DevOps tutorial series, today let's discuss about how do you set permissions to a query. Okay, so we have already had a detailed discussion about what are queries and where do you use queries in Azure DevOps. Maybe you can watch that video before watching this, but in case if you already know how to work with queries, then this video is usually for people who want to provide permissions to queries for certain groups or certain individuals. Okay, so this is a very easy topic but an important one. That's why I'm making a separate video for this. Now let me go to that query section. So under boards I can go to queries. Under queries you can see there are two tabs. One is favorite tabs and all tabs. Favorite tabs usually displays the queries or the folders which you actually work on very recently or which you have marked as favorite. And if you go to all as the entire query list. Okay, so there are two sections here. One is my queries, which are the queries that you created or which are defaultly created. For example, this assigned to me, assigned to the user, these and all are actually created by default. So this is your query section. In addition to that, you can also create your own queries. If I go to this area, right, so I have created a query for me called closed user story. So if I select this query, I can see list of user stories that is closed in a particular sprint or a particular timeline. Okay, so this is a query which I have created. Now I can run and do whatever I want to do with this query. Okay, so this is a very basic example. Okay, now if I want to set permissions for shared queries, so the next thing is a shared query. Shared query, as the name indicates, you actually use those queries or share those queries with a particular group or your team. Okay, so that everyone can run that query and use it. So this is a my query section and this is a shared query section. Under shared queries also you might have different folders. You'll have project folders or something meaningful according to your project requirement. So if we want to provide permissions, okay, so if these under are default queries that has been created, so you don't have you can't set a permission as far as I'm aware. There is no security tab here, but if you go and select this shared queries, right, you can provide security or permissions at a folder level. Okay, so if I click on security, so now I have selected the security under this shared queries folder. Either you can give access to the entire shared queries folder or you can actually provide to the particular project or a particular folder. Okay, here I am planning to give access to a project gift card 123 folder, so that I am clicking on security against this folder. Okay, this is one way you can do this. Or if you want to go to any specific queries, okay, let me go to a blocked user story query. So this is a query that I have created. So you can select security here. Okay, this will also again open a permissions tab for you to provide or set permissions. So first let me go to the folder level. So now if I click on security, it opens a permissions tab. Okay, this will actually give you what kind of permissions you need to set for a particular individual or a particular group. Okay, so starting with, you can see a toggle button for inheritance. Inheritance means whatever permission level that is set in the hierarchy above, that will be inherited to your folder, to this particular folder. Okay, so in case if you don't want this inheritance, you can always switch it off. Okay, now but I am leaving it as it is. So now if you look, for example, here are the Azure DevOps groups. So these are the default Azure DevOps groups like project collection administrators, build administrators, contributors, readers, etc. Okay, so here if you look at, there are 4 items. One is contribute, which means a particular user or a group can contribute to that query. A user or group can delete that query. A user or group can give permissions, like manage permissions to the query and read the query. So these are the 4 basic level of permissions that a user can provide to a query. Now I can either allow it, I can either allow to I can allow to contribute or make changes or delete, manage permissions, read. Okay, here if I select the drop down, you can see we have allow, not set, allow and deny. For this is an administrator, right? So administrator ideally have all kind of access, so it has allowed for all the sets. In case if you go to contributor, okay, contributor might not have a delete access. So if you go here, see, a contributor does not have a delete access, but in case if you want to change this, you can give allow. Okay, but that's not ideally a good approach for a contributor, right? So this way you can easily manage the access. Okay, either you can provide access at the group level or a user level. Okay, so here there's a search tab. You can either search for a particular user or either you can search for a particular team, as those kind of steps you can do it. Okay, you can either search for a user or a particular group. So these are the default groups that is available in Azure DevOps. Similarly, if you want to select any particular project collection, build service users, okay, in those situations also you can give the permissions either. So contribute, if I want to allow to contribute, you can see this is now changed. There is no save button. Once you close it and again come back, in case if you want to verify, now if you look at this, see the allow, earlier it was not set, now I have provided it as allow. Okay, this way you can provide permissions to a particular user or a group. Okay, this might be very much useful for a project admin or project lead, or even for developers who handles or share their queries. Okay, similarly the same kind of settings can be done for a individual query as well. So now we provided a permission at the folder level, which means all the items under that particular folder will have the same set of permissions. That's one. Second thing is, if you can provide permissions at an individual query level. So once I click on security, you can see we have similar settings here as well. You can make these changes at the query level as well. Okay, so this is a very quite easy one, but an important one, because in real time I have seen lot of developers write query for their own purpose or for the project purposes, but some people unknowingly make changes and save it. When you work with a larger audience, ideally having control of your queries might be very much important. So that is why I made a separate video for this. So in case if you have any queries, let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please subscribe and follow my channel. Thank you.